Hey guys, let's get more news from Steelers, but first don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Mike Tomlin reveals Steelers defender played with broken hand. It has been a strange up-and-down NFL season for the Pittsburgh Steelers, with the team sporting a winning record but being a team that many believe to be mediocre and not deserving of a spot in the NFL playoffs. In Week 13, the Steelers had the ideal situation to prove their doubters wrong with a tune-up game against the lowly Arizona Cardinals at home at Acrisure Stadium. Unfortunately, the Cardinals came to play on Sunday, and the Steelers didn't, as Arizona went on to beat Pittsburgh on the home field in convincing fashion, 24-10. Even though the offense has been a mess for the Steelers all season long, as the team has struggled to make an impact offensively this year, the defense has been formidable and something the team can usually count on to keep them in games. Not today, however, as the Steelers were crushed by one of the worst teams in the league while one of the team's best defensive players was playing with a broken hand, according to head coach Mike Tomlin via Ari Meirov of the 33rd team. Along with Minkah Fitzpatrick playing through a broken hand, the Steelers saw starting quarterback Kenny Pickett go down with an injury in this game as well, which resulted in Mitchell Trubisky taking over. Instead of taking a giant leap forward this week, Pittsburgh has seemingly taken 2 steps back and looks like a team that will get blown out in the playoffs if this team somehow ends up being postseason bound. Pittsburgh Steelers Kenny Pickett out, will he miss Seattle Seahawks NY game? Tracker. The Seattle Seahawks may face another backup quarterback as the season winds down. Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Kenny Pickett suffered an ankle injury on Sunday in a loss to the Arizona Cardinals, and he's expected to miss 2 to 4 weeks, according to Pittsburgh Post-Gazette reporter Jerry Dulac. The Steelers visit the Seahawks on December 31st, which is 4 weeks from the day of the injury. Given the playoff urgency, Pickett may look to return sooner, but it's certainly a storyline to keep an eye on. Seattle Seahawks rookie running back Zach Charbonnet had to exit in the fourth quarter of Thursday night's meeting with the Dallas Cowboys. The Seahawks have officially listed him as doubtful to return due to a knee injury, as he reportedly was taken back to the locker room. He was making his second career start in place of the injured Kenneth Walker. Charbonnet went into the blue medical tent on the sideline after getting stopped short on a 4th and 1 with 7:04 left in the game. Upon Charbonnet's exit to the sidelines, he had 19 carries for 60 yards and a touchdown to go along with 1 catch for 39 yards. The Cowboys lead 38-35 in the fourth quarter. The Seattle Seahawks announced Thursday that they have activated offensive tackle Abraham Lucas from injured reserve and placed offensive guard Phil Haynes on IR ahead of tonight's matchup with the Dallas Cowboys at AT&T Stadium. The Seahawks also elevated receiver Cody Thompson from the practice squad. He's back to where we're counting on him to be able to help and contribute, Seahawks coach Pete Carroll said of Lucas Tuesday. Abe had a good week. Everything's kind of on schedule as we planned it out quite some time ago, aiming for this week. He did his part. In the midst of a rougher patch that will likely get rougher in the near future, is it too soon for Seahawks fans to start peering into 2024? Not only has 6-5 Seattle lost 3 of 4, including a demoralizing home loss to the 49ers on Thanksgiving, but their next 3 games are against the best teams in the NFC in the 8-3 Cowboys, 8-3 Niners, and 10-1 Eagles. Yikes, indeed. It's enough to make fans daydream about next season. In that case, how about a peek at a 2024 mock draft? The Seahawks currently own the 22nd overall pick next April, with Sports Illustrated projecting them to select Ohio State edge rusher JT Tuimoloau. Says SI, trading for Leonard Williams filled the Seahawks' need for a dominant interior presence along the defensive front, but they could use another impact player on the edge who can make plays on all 3 downs. Tuimoloau is a complete player with the ideal skill set to defend both the run and pass. Seattle Seahawks linebacker Jordan Brooks led a fired-up meeting on the sidelines with the defense in the first half of Thursday's meeting with the San Francisco 49ers. The Seahawks found themselves down big in the first half before trailing 24-3 headed into the locker room, and Brooks clearly wasn't pleased. But in the third quarter, it was Brooks who gave the Seahawks a much-needed touchdown after hauling in a deflected pass for a 12-yard interception return. It marked Brooks' first career interception and touchdown as an NFL player. The Seahawks are hopeful that Geno Smith plays in tonight's Thanksgiving visit from the 49ers, but just in case. Quarterback Brett Rypien has been elevated from the practice squad, giving the Seahawks some emergency quarterback depth with starter Geno dealing with his elbow injury. Drew Lock is also ready as the number 2 QB. Seattle also activated defensive back Coby Bryant from IR ahead of the Thursday night game against the 49ers, with safety Jerrick Reed too, who tore his ACL in last weekend's game against the Rams, moving to IR to make room on the 53-man roster. Rypien starred at Spokane's Shadow Park High School and at Boise State, and was signed to Seattle's practice squad earlier this month. The Seahawks were blowing leads of 13-0 and 16-7. Quarterback Geno Smith was injured. Things looked bleak for Seattle, but they could all be saved by the strong right leg of Jason Myers. The reliable kicker was sent out for a game-winning, 55-yard field goal Sunday afternoon at SoFi Stadium. A lot had gone wrong for the Seahawks in the second half, but Myers had already made 3 field goals, including from 52 and 54 yards, and 32 times in his career had kicks of 50+. This one, however, sliced right of the upright, leaving Seattle with a devastating 17-16 loss to the NFC West rival Los Angeles Rams. Myers made 5 field goals a week ago, including the game winner as time expired, and was the NFC Special Teams Player of the Week. But this time, he failed. Rumor: Steelers have Shaq Leonard leaning to sign. The Steelers' flirtation with Shaq Leonard during a brief free agency tour that also saw him visit the Philadelphia Eagles is serious. And, according to one connected NFL guy, maybe a winner. "I hear he's leaning toward the Steelers," NFL analyst Baldinger said this week in an interview with 105.3 The Fan. "I hear he's leaning toward the Steelers at this point, on 2 fronts. First, they don't see Leonard as representing some glaring need that will be cured. This is not, to name a player that some in Steelers Nation actually mentioned. A report that states that Steelers views Leonard as a difference maker is not actually accurate at all. Leonard, after several back surgeries, has faded a lot since his days as a Pro Bowler. But at 28, he can be an effective deterrent here. The Steelers may find this player, who in Leonard's case is also a classy locker room leader, helpful. That's the word one source is using with us, useful. 2. Prove that vision. Will be where Leonard's new contract will land. ESPN reported this week that there will be a bidding war between Steelers and Philadelphia for Shaq's services. It's safe to say that ESPN didn't get that information from here inside the Star. Inside from Eagles HQ as well. As Baldinger said, "I know Eagles players who are trying to recruit him. They need him. They've been missing linebackers all year." Leonard has friends and connections on both teams, including with Eagles coach Nick Sirianni, who was based in Indianapolis. Said Sirianni, "I was close to him when we were at Indy. It was good to be able to meet him again and relive some memories. But also talk a little about what this building is like." Leonard, recently cut by the Colts, is expected to make a decision perhaps late Sunday after the Eagles face the 49ers. Said the Steelers owner, "They said they're going to come back with us this weekend, probably after the Philadelphia games, that's my guess. We had a great visit and that's how we left it." Steelers.com was told the decision will come down to attractiveness, with 2 factors to evaluate: where can he get snaps? And you fan, what do you think of the Shaq Leonard situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.